I won't deny, I haven't really been into anime in the past 2 years, maybe 2.5. I watched an anime movie here and there or read the Junji Ito manga a few times, but for some reason I've been rather distant to animes in general. Life and college are definitely getting in the way, but it shouldn't be a reason to push away the things I enjoyed. Though recently I found a very interesting anime, something that made me binge it in an entire day. The only problem, it's quite unique.
中村さん、僕は
Released in 2013, No Hana, or Flowers of Evil, is an anime adaptation based on the manga with the same name, written by Shozo Oshimi, while the anime being directed by Hiroshi Nagahama, that has worked on quite some animes such as Fruit Basket and Mushishishi, and at the moment working on upcoming Junji Ito anime Uzumaki, which I'm really excited for. The story is rather simple, as it follows a boy named Kasuga Takao, who enjoys reading books. One day, he realizes that he left the book that he was reading at the time in his classroom. As he enters the classroom, he recovers it. He realizes that the girl he crushes on, named Saiki Nanako, left her gym clothes in her class. Kasuga sees Saiki as an angel, a divine being that can do no wrong, that is pure and nothing vile can be associated with her. So for him, being so close to something related to her feels like a magical moment. While fighting against his impulses, he takes out the clothes out of the bag, being hit with her smell. Not too long left alone, he hears footsteps. Knowing that someone is nearby, he quickly runs away with the clothes. The next day is found out that her clothes have been taken away, which creates chaos in the class. Luckily, no one knows who it is, but it appears that someone might have some information. On his way home, Kasuga bumps into Nakamura Sawa, which is basically a complete opposite, insulting everyone, not caring, and even being aggressive. Nakamura mentions that she knows Kasuga took the clothes and forces him to make a contract, basically telling him that by listening to whatever she says, she won't tell the others what he did. The reason I mentioned the story is simple is because this is basically the main premise. Main character is caught in an unpleasant situation and has to decide either to take the blame, forcing him to ruin his social status and being seen as a weirdo, or avoid that shame by any means necessary, even if it means completely changing your lifestyle. Personally, what I think is more significant is the way the characters affect each other. While this does contribute to the plot, it is what drives the story. It's interesting since this isn't a basic love triangle. Actually, it seems that even though Sawa gets somewhat close to Kasuga, she kinda hates him. Definitely one of the most important and interesting parts of this anime is the message. Sawa hates everything and everyone, and we don't really know why. Later on, we find that her parents divorced when she was young, but it doesn't seem to be the main reason she acts this way. Even her father mentions that she might be copying someone, so she's been affected by some bad influence the same way she is on Kasuga. There's a saying that goes like, hurt people, so I think we have a small opening into Sawa's world and perspective. Sawa hates the world, the people in it, because they're fake. They gossip, only care about themselves and what others think. When she saw Kasuga take Saiki's clothes, she felt as she met someone like her. Throughout the entire anime, Sawa calls Kasuga a deviant, though the translation is a bit odd since in the Japanese dub, the word should be translated to pervert. Deviant has a different meaning, referring to someone that goes against the norm, that deviates from a standard path. I still think that both words kind of work, as deviant keeps referring to the hatred she has for this town and the people hiding behind masks, while pervert means the odd acts that she forces Kasuga to perform. In a way, Kasuga agrees to her view and even wants to understand her, yet can't. He does agree in a way or another that he wants to leave this town, truly explore what life has to offer, but can't understand why Sawa is the way she is, so destructive, mean, and corrupted. Kasuga starts as a simple student that slowly gets devoured by a girl's corruption. Every single interaction they have either results in saying or doing something embarrassing or bad, and despite all that, despite Kasuga actually ending up with the girl of his dreams, he can't stop going back to Sawa. I truly believe this story follows the perspective of a damaged character that badly influences and brings a confused soul in their destructive and corrupted world. The only reason Kasuga remains near Sawa, despite all the things she did to him, is because he doesn't know what path to follow. He tries to apologize, to redeem himself, to change, yet he always returns to this horrible lifestyle, simply because he was caught in an act that he knows is bad. For someone as young as him, he doesn't know if it truly was an unlucky situation or if it's a defining trait. I want to understand these characters. In a way, I understand what Sawa is or wants to represent, but I can't relate much, which instead of caring or having sympathy for her, I simply dislike her. On the other hand, Kasuga is a simple kid. He's innocent, and by making a severe mistake, he's misled, slowly following this corrupted road, forcing me from relating to him and understanding him to simply watching from afar. During the entire watch, my feelings for Kasuga have changed. Right now, all I can feel is pity and disappointment. It's somewhat like watching a dear friend ruin their relationship and leaving you by making an obvious terrible choice. Yet you know the right thing is only to watch as the person fades away. I can't feel the same about both of these characters as I did when I watched the anime, and I think that's fine. You don't want to feel for these characters. You want them to get better and change, yet it's clear that's not happening. I probably should have started talking about this from the beginning. That's the main reason the anime did so well, yet so poorly at the same time. The artistic style for this anime is what pushed people away and what also made me like it so much, retroscoping. It simply takes real-life footage that has been recorded on a camera, then every single frame is taken and drawn over. I like it because it creates such an uncanny vibe to it, and with the story of this anime, I genuinely think it fits very well. It is a risk that was taken, doing something different than the average anime, but I personally think they benefited, and it is what made this anime so controversial. Another thing to mention is the odd editing choice. There are certain scenes that feel so out of place for an anime, making it feel more like a comedy sketch, cutting frames or repeating them. There isn't too much to say here, but I still wanted to mention how good it is. What's very interesting is that the openings are very bland. In most animes, you usually have scenes where characters are running or doing stuff, but here, you're just staring at a picture, with an occasional scene from the same episode. There are 4 different openings, 3 of them being the name of each of the main characters, while the last being the name of the town. Each opening describes in a way the characters. Sawa's opening is very playful and chaotic. Kasuga's opening is quite standard. It really feels like a generic song you'd hear in a forgettable anime, and in a way, it does fit with the way his character is at the start of the anime. Saike's opening starts in a playful way and becomes hopeful towards the end, as her character develops quite interestingly throughout the episodes. The last one is named Gunma Ken Kirishi. For me, it feels rather simple, but in a way, it feels like a combination of the other 3. It starts simple and playful, but halfway an electric guitar is added, giving it a small sense of rebellion, though the most unique and odd song in the entire anime is the ending. Hana ga saita yo. Hana ga saita yo. That's about it for me. There are a few things to mention. If you do decide to start watching the anime, you must continue with the manga. The reason is because we are never getting another season. It's been over a decade at this point. The anime does end on a cliffhanger, teasing what would have happened in the second season. I actually haven't continued with the manga, as I feel it would have provided information that could have influenced my perspective on the story. If I did that and then started working on the script, I might have said certain things that could have impacted you, the viewer, in a different way. While this way, I'm also not spoiling too much. I actually think I did a pretty decent job on not sharing too much. There are so many details I left out and so many amazing scenes that are worth watching. I've never been so excited to work on a video about an anime, but this one has really made me sit down and think about it. The characters, the message, the ideas. I highly suggest to go watch No Hana. It's going to make you uncomfortable, it's going to be weird, and you're going to watch it.